down. Workers are treated, they're being held down. They've got nowhere to turn to and nowhere to go. Their families go without. Their kids are told no. They may work 60 hours, yet only 40 are paid. Because only for the broker a better life has been made. No taxes, no unemployment, no workers' comp. Employers exploit them on their rise to the top. They're asking for help or justice some way. They're hoping to survive or get paid someday. Wage theft is illegal, but we cover our eyes. We somehow change the subject or we call it all lies. My 3 minutes will end. I'll be asked to sit down. I'm told this doesn't happen. Not in our town. I'm asking for action. I'm asking to help them today. Keep them in your prayers. Christmas is 2 weeks away. We're going to share with you several stories tonight of workers, victims of wage theft, projects in our city. So I ask you to listen, pay attention. These are true stories. Madam Chair, City Council, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Next up is Shannon Bates.
Good evening. My name is Shannon Bates, and I am a Colorado resident and a representative of the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters. Tonight we are speaking on an ongoing and growing issue of rampant wage theft and tax fraud plaguing our state, our cities, and our communities here in Colorado, perpetrated by individuals that are seeing the perks of criminal worker exploitation. New brokers enter the arena weekly, if not daily. And speaking with Eduardo Ramirez of South Valley Drywall last week on a project right here in Denver, he let myself and my partner Edgar know that from week to week he is unsure of who is actually going to pay him because his contract changes. He has been paid cash. He has been paying checks with no deductions, and checks he can only cash at one place. He has gone weeks without pay because his contract is out of state. When he is finally paid, there is no overtime pay, and it is always not what he is owed. He said last year at this time he was owed 3 weeks' pay, so Christmas was not so good. I asked him if he was ever paid that money. He told me no, but I keep working. The CDLE has been investigating 10 dirty players, well known for wage theft, and is slowly making progress. The task force in place to build and procure legislation to fight this issue has been hard at it for almost 2 years now. Good stuff. However, as time goes by, the number of brokers and dirty players is increasing almost daily because others are seeing those benefits of what is nothing short of human exploitation that comes without consequence of any sort. These brokers are boldly displaying their status with lifted big tire pickups, many times with Texas plates. Have a look, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not hard to find them. The workers have nothing real to help them. If I walk into a 7-Eleven and put items in my pocket and walk out without paying, and the clerk catches me, I can reasonably expect to be paid a visit by officers of the law and face a trip to the station. When a worker shows up after working 50, 60 hours all week on Friday and there's no money paid out to him, no cops are going to be called. And if they are, chances are high they'll probably find something more important issues than to show up for that. The workers are now a position of creativity. Now in a position of creativity and how they're going to put food on the table, pay the rent, and fix the car. And a lot of times it's not that good. It can be a very accelerated downhill situation for however many families that have not been paid. Of course, with wage theft, there's inherently tax fraud. We are asking for City Council's eyes to be open to this fast-growing criminal activity happening just outside these doors. We are asking for recognition of wage theft and tax fraud as an everybody issue.
Mr. Bates, you're
we are asking the city council to move on this immediately. Thank you, very good.
Thank you. We'll move to online for Mariana Thompson. While we're waiting for Mariana, let me remind everybody in chambers to just raise your hand and ask.
Can I be heard?
Yes, Mariana, you want to go ahead?
So all these people standing in orange, last week were told they couldn't stand.
My subject is Denver above the law. It is our duty as a citizen to hold our elected officials accountable. Is Denver above the law? Think about this, council, and reflect on these words. Examples of this is the inhumane urban camping ban, and that is now being implemented in the cities nationwide. It is deemed unconstitutional and a lawsuit by Denver Homeless Out Loud. Yet this year we've had close to 200 traumatic displacements, and that's not to account for the ones not publicized. When the United Nations was here, they deemed the conditions of treatment of our unhoused worse than refugee camps in our war-torn country. COVID. We have now, how many variants, correct, council? So Denver doesn't have to abide by CDC guidelines, even though we receive federal funds for hotels. Our mayor still says go to shelters, even though both the men's shelter and the women's shelter have reports of COVID. For 2 months, I've been researching and advocating on the filthy, unsafe conditions of the women's shelter, and recently with COVID-positive cases and no testing. Between you and DPHE, you both said that my allegations were unsubstantiated. My question to you this evening, council, is why did Westward report 18 cases of COVID? Why are they now testing and enforcing of the mask rules? Wouldn't you call that backpedaling, council? Or, oh, who cares about the poor in this capitalistic system, right? Yet they pay taxes every time they make a purchase. You all are elected officials and work for we the people. Isn't that correct, council? After all, we must be politically correct and being inclusive, yet you leave them out time and time again. We all know that you all represent the developers and you vote on approving more luxury apartments, while at Turtle's case, approve of tiny homes and SOS camps, when we have approximately 8,500 on the street. You all act like victims of the narcissist, but none of you have introduced a bill to repeal the inhumane urban camping ban. How do you speak, council? In closing, if you are part of the solution, you are part of the problem. Hashtag Denver is inhumane. Repeal the inhumane urban camping ban. Thank you.
Thank you. We will switch to in chambers with Kevin Flickinger.
Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Kevin Flickinger. I'm a representative of the Southwest Regional Council Partners and also a representative of Local 1607. And we have been observing conveyor jobs here in the Denver area. One I'm going to speak on is Shamrock Foods, the big building out on Piccadilly Road. It's a great place. It's going to employ a lot of people, but the way it was built by union people. And also I wanted to say that fraud is not a union issue. It's about regaining lost tax revenue, protecting honest employers and taxpayers. So it's a bigger issue than just the people that are getting messed up on their paychecks. Shelving and conveyor lined throughout the massive building. The racking was built by a small outfit. Conveniently, none of the workers knew the name of the company. 16 to 20 guys from California. The max pay was $18 an hour. They give hotel rooms at $100 per diem. Some of the workers getting paid with a check, no taxes taken out. Some of the workers getting paid cash because they could not cash a check. This practice is seen daily on a daily basis here in Colorado. And today we're asking you to give this problem the attention it deserves. Tax dollars being lost to our community here in Colorado is in the triple-digit millions, which makes it hard for all the state, city, and city-funded programs to operate efficiently to help those in need. This is not an isolated incident. It's going on in every single project in the state of Colorado. Legitimate contractors doing business the right way cannot compete with cash pay and we need your help with this matter. And I also have a phone here from one of our members, Local 1607, Daniel Scurry. Was the wage stuff before Christmas, when all through the state not a worker was happening because the paychecks were late. The worker had been done well with care in hopes that their money soon would be there. But the owner was nestled at home in his bed. Not a thought of the workers went through his head. He knew that even if they arose and clattered, most other workers wouldn't ask what's the matter. He found that most workers were replaced in a flash and lie not pay them that like they were trash. He springs to his car and to his labor broker to give a whistle, for they both get theirs, but the workers dismissal. And I hear exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, too bad we don't have rights." And this is a bigger problem than just a little one. It's going on every site in this state. And we travel all over this state because we're realizing we do industrial work. And you got contractors coming here from out of state that are irresponsible.
Thank you, sir. You're out of time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go online to Tess Daly.
Hi, City Council. My name is Tess Daly. I'm in District 9. I wanted to read tonight from ancient Sanskrit scriptures that talked about the sacred histories and the nature of the divine. They said that when signs of approaching doomsday were to be found in the breakdown of social structures, the increase in violence and crime, the decline of human intelligence, indeed old people, destitute of the truth, wisdom of old age, try to behave like the young, and the young lack the candor of youth. The social classes have lost their distinguishing, dignifying virtues. The will to rise to supreme heights has failed. The bonds of sympathy and love have dissolved. Narrow egotism rules. When this calamity has befallen the once harmoniously ordered city of man, the substance of the world organism has deteriorated beyond salvage, and the universe is ripe for dissolution. They also said that property confers, the world in its last days reaches a stage where property confers rank. Wealth becomes the only source of virtue. Passion, the sole bond of union between husband and wife. Falsehood, the source of success in life. And when outer trappings are confused with inner religion. I think that it's important for us to understand that the time we're in has long been predicted. And what we are doing in this city of Denver, it's not just a matter of politics. It's a matter of humanity. It's a matter that we have to change what's happening in the city to literally save humankind. We will self-destruct, and you guys have the power to change the course of history of mankind, of humankind. That is how much is at stake. And you guys, week after week after week, continue to let the sweeps happen. You continue to let workers be stolen, their labor exploited. You continue to hold no accountability for these nonprofits that are literally abusing people, shutting people at the streets outside so that they die, sending people out, DNRing them, which by the way stands for Do Not Return. It's a sick acronym that they've appropriated from the medical term. And then Denver Health is leaving people in their beds for 2.5 weeks without moving them. This is a really big deal, you guys. And I don't understand why we've been coming to you for over a year with reports, 2 documentaries, a music video. We've come every week and nothing has changed. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you will have blood on your hands if you don't do anything. This is bigger than you, bigger than Denver, bigger than anyone here tonight. It's bigger than the United States of America. You have to do something, please.
Thank you very, very much. We'll move into chambers with Michael Deary.
Good evening. My name is Michael Deering with the Southwest Regional Council of Gardeners. One Friday afternoon, we received a phone call from Martin Salazar, a worker with 3Gen Construction. They do small jobs all over Colorado, mostly house renovations for Gen 3 contractors for construction to resell the houses. There was a group of 30 workers that haven't been paid for weeks, some missing 2 weeks of pay and others missing 3 weeks of pay. The workers finally got frustrated that the foremen get paid every Friday while they get told, wait until next week. The workers stood together as a group and threatened the owner that they are all going to quit if they don't get paid immediately. The owner of 3 Gem Construction pulled up in his brand new pickup truck and called the workers up to the truck one at a time and cut them checks. Cut checks of all the wages that they were owed. He wrote out 30 checks that day, ranging from $1,500 and up. Workers were asked by the owner to stay working for him. He needed them and promised that he would pay them. We need the owners and contractors to be penalized to help slow down or stop wage that is taking Colorado over. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next up is Juan Garcia.
Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Juan Garcia. I'm a representative of the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters. I'd like to share a story with you tonight about a worker, and I'd like to share it as if it was speaking. My name is Alejandro Carmela. I'm 38 years old. I'm from Honduras. A husband, a father of 2 young boys, ages 2 and 3. I've worked in Texas, Oklahoma, and for the past 3 years here in Colorado. I'm currently working at the Green Valley Ranch Apartments, the 7601 Green Valley Ranch Boulevard, Denver, Colorado. I work as a framer for a subcontractor, labor broker of Belize Construction. I work at least 50 hours a week, often 56. I am paid $23 an hour cash for the hours that I work. I'm aware that I should be receiving overtime pay. However, if I complain, I'll lose my job. And the most important thing to me is keeping a roof over my family's head and paying the bills, because those don't wait. Besides, I've been working for this guy ever since I arrived in Colorado, and he has hit to not pay me. I did have an incident in Texas where I worked for 2 weeks for a subcontractor. I was never paid. So as I said before, even though I'm not paid overtime, at least I'm paid. I'm making every effort to do the responsible thing as a legal resident or citizen does. Even though I'm not. Since arriving in Colorado, I've been filing taxes, and I recently obtained my driver's license. I know guys that have been working for this subcontractor, labor broker, for the past 15 years, and have never paid taxes. I'm going to stop right there because I think there's a couple of things I need to address. Workers not paying taxes is one thing. Contractors and subcontractors misclassifying employees as subcontractors and then placing the burden, the responsibility on them paying taxes is another, which is clearly happening to Alejandro's co-workers. Wage theft comes in many forms. Failure to pay overtime is one of them. Alejandro's paid overtime. He may be able to work less of it and afford to spend more time with his young family, which needs him to be around. There are laws in place that are geared at preventing these types of practices and abuses, yet they happen at high frequency. Contractors that partner with other contractors who engage in these types of practices should be held accountable. And I ask that you, Denver City Council members, consider holding them as such. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go online for Lauren Silver. And if you could raise your hand, we can put it into the system. Not there. Okay, we'll come back into chambers for Jordan Jones.
Good evening, Madam Chair, City Council members. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Jordan Jones, representative of the Bill Rights of the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters here in Colorado. It is a season to be jolly, right? Our industry is seasonal, one of ups and downs when it comes to work. This time of year is slower for Bill Rights working in postal and parsonage plants. Everyone is ordering packages online and wants them delivered. That being said, Bill Rights must leave the sites during the holiday season. For the millwrights that work for responsible contractors, this is a great resting period for them and their families. As representatives, we visit job sites on a day-to-day basis. For many partial millwrights this time of year, it's not a season to be jolly. We have come across several people, be it Amazon, FedEx, and Shamrock's facilities, to name a few that you may be familiar with. They tell us they are independent contractors, when in fact they are misclassified. By directly receiving orders from contractors' foremen, they are working as employees. They do not realize the ramifications that they face during this time of year from these misclassifications. Contractors not paying into their unemployment benefits, workman's comp, or any other benefits an employee should receive. These individuals don't get the time to rest with their families because they don't receive the unemployment benefits, thus having to find other work. They should receive these benefits as employees. The most disturbing part we find with these individuals are most of them are being taken advantage of, are Hispanic with limited English. This is not right, it should be stopped. Denver is the capital and the leaders when it comes to making life better for the people of Colorado. I implore you to act on this wage step and misclassification as it's happening all over the city and state. Be the torchbearer for Colorado and shine the light and take action on these unlawful acts. Thank you for your time. Make your season be jolly.
Very much. We'll now go to Edgar Yadigi in Chambers. Edgar, you'll have 6 minutes for the transition.
Buenas noches, miembros del City Council. Mi nombre es Edgar Jauregui. Soy representante del Southwest Union Council of Carpenters. Y quiero compartir una historia de un trabajador que su nombre es Rodolfo Machuca.
Good evening, my name is Edward Harper, and I am here with the Southwest Regional Carpenters Union, I think that's what it was, and I want to share a story.
Este trabajador se llama Rodolfo Machuca.
His name is Rodolfo Machuca.
Este trabajador trabajaba en una compañía que se llamaba Free Drago, aquí en la ciudad de Denver.
This worker worked at a company called Free Drywall here in the city of Denver.
Trabajaba con más de 10 horas diarias y 6 días a la semana sin que le pagaran overtime.
And he worked 10 hours daily, more than 6 days a week without getting paid overtime.
Y sin recibir ningún beneficio de ni un seguro médico, ni vacaciones, ni mucho menos una pensión.
And without receiving any benefit as such, any insurance, medical insurance, or any vacation whatsoever.
Llegaba el día del pago y le decían que le pagarían hasta la siguiente semana.
When payday arrived, he would be told that he would get paid the following week.
Semana tras semana le decían la misma promesa falsa hasta que un día se dio cuenta que
So week after week, he would get promised the same false promise until the day came.
el día se dio cuenta que junto con él había un grupo de 30 trabajadores que estaban en la misma situación.
And that day, he found out that along with him were 30 other workers that were in the same situation.
Pero ninguno de los trabajadores, pero solo 12 quisieron hacer una queja con el Departamento de Labores.
And out of them, only 12 decided to file a complaint with the Department of Labor.
Los demás no quisieron porque estaban asustados y temían por que lo reportaran.
And the others did not want to because they were afraid of being reported.
El Departamento de Labores, después de una amplia investigación, dio el fallo a favor de los trabajadores.
The Department of Labor, after a long investigation, did side on the side of the workers.
Eso fue hace más de 2 años y hasta la fecha no han recibido ninguna compensación.
This happened over 2 years ago, and up to this day, they have not received compensation.
Miembros del City Council, esto es la historia, como esta historia, y les puedo decir cientos de ellas aquí en Downtown.
Members of City Council, this is a story, just like this one there, I can tell you that there are hundreds of them throughout the whole city downtown.
Y la razón por la cual estoy hablando en español es por apoyar en apoyo a ellos, porque los trabajadores latinos son los que más sufren con este problema.
And the reason why I'm speaking Spanish is because I am standing in solidarity with them, in support with them, because the Latinx workers are the ones that have suffered more with this issue.
Quiero agradecerles por su tiempo.
Thank you for your time.
And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas to all.
Thank you. That concludes our general public comment session. The next session will be held on Monday, December 20th.
I didn't make the cut.
Senate begins at 12 o'clock noon on Friday, December 17th. We look forward to hearing from you all again. Thank you for attending. Please stay with us to attend the Denver City Council meeting in 2 minutes.
Excuse me, sir. I see you wearing a jacket that says Denver Police Museum. Are you part of the program to move the museum out of the administration building to its own site? Is that on the agenda today? Do you have any information we can follow up or stay informed on this matter? I personally think it's a travesty that people do not have the ability to access the museum and videotape and take photographs of the things within it. It's a public building and a public lobby. It's a public building and a public lobby. I can film the museum itself. I have filmed all the antiquities in this building. I never required an appointment to do so.
Good evening. Welcome to the December 13th.
Thank you,
Denver
sir.
City Council meeting.
I'm out,
The
folks.
next meeting is being interpreted into Spanish. Liana, please introduce yourself and let our viewers know how to enable translation on their devices.
All those people were violating an order where they couldn't stand.
Here with the CLC, we are here to provide some peace and petition. During